Well, hi, Hesbury Community Church. Pastor Tom here with the announcement that many of us have been waiting for a long time. Yesterday, Governor Newsom issued some directives that allow houses of worship to regather together, and we're excited about the possibilities of seeing you again in person here in our worship center. I want to talk to you today about the ways that we're taking steps to follow the guidelines that the state and the CDC have given us so that we can mitigate the risk of you getting sick and us getting sick with COVID-19 as much as possible. I want to start by saying that there is absolutely no way to eradicate the risk. You're making a choice, and I'm making a choice every time I walk out my house, every time I walk out of the door, to assume the risk of potentially getting sick, whether it's from COVID-19 or from anything else. So in this case, I want you to make sure that you are making the best decisions based on the best information that you have for your family and for your own health. There's no pressure from anybody to come back together again. There's a desire, to be sure, and we do miss seeing everyone, absolutely. But if you feel like you're in a position where your health demands it, or your family's health demands it, maybe you don't start gathering back together with us for a while, that's okay. We're still going to offer our same quality live stream and YouTube experiences for both Sundays and Wednesdays going forward, so you're never going to have to wonder if you can still be a part of what we're doing here at HCC. Now, if you believe that you are ready and healthy enough to come and join us, want to let you know how we're taking some steps to mitigate the risk, at least a little bit here in our facility. First of all, it's important to say if you are feeling sick in any way, if you are demonstrating any COVID-19 symptoms, please stay home. Wearing a mask, social distancing is going to be a part of our experience here, but if you're feeling sick, the best solution is going to be to stay home. So please do that and make those decisions based not only on your own needs and desires, but how you can best protect the people around you, not just your own family, but our church community. If you're sick, stay home. If you're healthy and you are ready to join us, we are able to accommodate, according to the guidelines, 100 people in each of the buildings that we have access to here on campus. So 100 people in the worship center. After that first 100 is met, we will be opening up the chapel to allow for more people to gather over there, and there will be a capacity cap on that building as well. And if we need to, we can also open up our gym. Both the chapel and the gym will have access to our live stream, and you will be able to be together with people in those areas. So know that that's the case. If we get to 100 people in this room and we send you over to the chapel or the gym, please just go with it and recognize that it's a step forward in many ways from being at home. And you'll still be able to interact with people and experience the service. The church is meant to worship the Lord and to build community, and we're going to be able to do that safely in that context if we abide by those guidelines. So 100 people we will be counting on Sunday morning, and once we hit that's a threshold, we will be sending people over to the other buildings. We ask that you would please abide by social distancing guidelines while you're here. While you're sitting together here in the worship center, make sure there's a few chairs in between you, side to side, and make sure that there's nobody sitting directly in front or behind you when you come in. The social distancing guidelines have been, I think, effective in helping to at least limit the spread of the disease. And so we want to do that. We have a building that we can do that in fairly easily. We can spread out and not feel uncomfortable. We would also ask that you make use of the hand sanitizer that we'll have available, to wash your hands regularly, thoroughly for 20 seconds as the CDC calls for. But let's make sure that we're doing all of the normal steps that we'll be taking no matter where we are when we're here at church. We also are going to abide by the CDC's guidelines regarding face masks. The text itself says that face masks are strongly recommended and that they are primarily for the benefit of people around you rather than protection of yourself. And from a biblical standpoint, there's a lot of good in that argument. If I'm concerned more about making sure that somebody else around me doesn't get what I may have, then wearing a mask might be worth it. Now, if you feel strongly about it, we're not going to police it. We're not going to force anybody to wear a mask. We want to encourage you to make the best decision for your family, for yourself, and for the benefit of our church community. Now, at 100 people, we can spread out pretty easily in here and it won't be too much of a problem. I don't think that we'll have any issues or in terms of social distancing or even with the face masks. But if you find yourself in close quarters in the lobby as you're entering and exiting the building, please make sure that you're being mindful of how you are impacting the people around you. Now, as we move forward in the procedures that we're going to put in place, we want to make sure that you know that we're not going to encourage handshakes or hugs. Our greeters are normally going to be the people that are going to be offering you a handshake when you walk in, or people might see you and want to give you a hug. We're not going to police that, but we're going to recommend that you don't do that. A wave, an elbow, these are all alternatives to making sure that you're making the connections with people that you need to make. Our staff and volunteers will be instructed not to offer handshakes or hugs, and please don't take offense at that. We just want to follow the guidelines as best that we can. So handshakes and hugs are definitely not recommended. We're going to be regularly sanitizing this facility, and so before and after services here, both on Sundays and Wednesdays, you will find a clean facility. In the bathrooms, in the worship center, the chairs, all of it will be taken care of. And we may be looking for some help to make sure that that happens. If we do, we'd appreciate your willingness to jump in on that if you find yourself able to. But we want to make sure that we're keeping it as clean as possible for all involved. Each of the main doors into our worship center will be available for exit, but we're going to ask that everyone enter through the double doors that are front in the lobby. The 3 sets of double doors that are in the lobby will be open. The rest of the doors will be locked from the outside. Now, obviously from the inside, we can use those other doors for exit, but when you come and you find a locked door, just come around to the front and join us through the lobby. We would appreciate that. We will be doing our best to do our due diligence for our staff and volunteers to make sure that we're not sick when we come to do church with you. We'll be having thermometers available, we'll be taking temperatures, and we will send volunteers and staff home if they are demonstrating symptoms. Again, all in line with the guidance that was given yesterday for churches. And last, I want to let you know that we will not at this point be offering children's ministry. We have yet to determine how we can safely do that in line with the guidelines. So if you have kids and you're bringing them to church, you got a couple options. You can actually have them sit with you, and we will have some activity sheets available for them to do here in the worship center. But we also want to recommend that you take advantage of going to the chapel and having your family be there. Samantha, our children's ministry director, she'll have some activities there for them to do that are sanitized. We'll have markers that are sanitized. We'll have plenty of hand sanitizer in the chapel so that your kids can be as safe as possible while the live stream is playing on the TVs in the chapel. So consider that for families. Know that we will be getting our children's ministry programs back online as soon as possible. Still trying to figure out how best to do that in light of the guidelines that we're facing right now. So no children's ministry will be offered for the next few weeks, and then we will make another announcement to let you know when that's restored and move forward from there. We are going to be open for the first time since the lockdown went into play on this Sunday, May 31st. Tomorrow night's midweek will still happen online, and we will have that for you like we normally do. And then going forward, we will have online and live opportunities for both Sundays and Wednesdays. But that will start this coming Sunday, May 31st. If you are able to join us, we want to encourage you to do so. One last thing, spoiler alert, sorry, don't expect donuts and coffee. We are not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to provide that safely to you, and we are not going to be able to allow a lot of congregating in the lobby after and before service. But we do want to encourage you to make connections with people while you're here as best you can, and then make arrangements to stay connected with them off campus going forward. So these are the ways that we're doing our due diligence to keep you safe and respond to the guidelines that our state leadership has given us. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we get the chance to even meet together again at all. And we're going to do our best to make sure that we continue to follow those guidelines so that we can continue to meet. The governor said that this is a 21-day trial upon which the numbers will be reevaluated, and things continue to change. We're going to do our best to keep you aware of all those changes. As soon as we know how we're proceeding, we are going to let you know. So stay tuned to our Facebook, stay tuned to our YouTube, stay tuned to our website so that you can be in the loop as we move forward. I want to thank you for your continued support and care for us as a church. Thank you for sticking with us online, and continue to pray for us as we put these guidelines into practice, and pray that God would continue to use this church for His glory as we continue to pursue His mission that He's given us. I look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions, you can email or call the office and let me know, and I'm happy to answer them as best I can. I hope to see you on Sunday. Take care.